Hi everyone, and welcome back to a new video on the how to make a simulator game series. Before this video starts, I want to let you guys know that I have a Patreon, so if you guys want to support me and want to have access to every single one of my tutorial files, they will all be available on my Patreon in the $10 tier. With that being said, let's start. So what we're going to be doing in this video is hopefully finishing the entire tool shop so that I can actually finish this series and go on to the other unfinished series. Now, we have made a little bit of progress in this shop, but still nothing really works. So we're gonna be fixing that. So what I'm starting with is adding a folder inside of the player data folder and rename it to owned tools. Now I'm going to add a string value and rename it to current tool, and its value will be the starting source name, the starting tool name. So change the value of your current tool to the base tool that your player is going to have when they first join the game. And after doing that, I'm going to go back to the main client script and check what we've done here. So we have that done, and we did get the open shop remote to work, and we did create a template, I think. temp.visible is equal to true. But I don't think that's actually working. So it says infinite yield possible on player's UI, wait for child shop. So what we're going to be doing is create a variable here. So local frames is equal to script.parent, wait for child frames. Now in here, we're going to be doing frames, wait for child shop. Now if you play the game, that should hopefully work. So if I just open up the shop, as you can see, we do have the sword, and we can actually select it. That does work. Now I want to check where are we storing this sword. So I'll just go to the items, remotes. So we are storing it here, and we have another tool in the starter pack. So I did mess up on the current tool value. Change this to your actual current tool in the starter pack. And what I'm going to do now is check whenever the buy button is pressed. So when the buy button is pressed, what we're going to be doing is creating a local result, which will be equal to a remote event, a remote function that will fire. So inside of your remote folder, add a remote function and rename it to shop or buy tool. Now what we're going to be doing is local result is equal to remote .buy tool invoke server. Now when we invoke the server, we're going to send I think we're gonna send the player, or no, we don't really need to send the player. We're just going to send the selected temp.name. So selected temp.name, and hopefully we are actually setting the selected temp value to the actual template and not the name of the template. Yes, we did do that. And now inside of our server script, inside of the server folder, scripts, main server, modules, remote controller, we're gonna scroll all the way down, and we're gonna have a function here, function remote controller by tool, and that will take the player as a first argument and the tool name as the second argument. Now we're gonna have a variable, so local tool is equal to game, or I think shared. So what I'm going to do is to add another variable on top, which is going to be equal to items, which is going to be equal to shared, wait for child items. Now local tool is equal to items, find first child, find first child tool name. Now we're gonna check if tool is not equal to nil, then and else return error or tool not found. And if we did find the tool, what we're gonna be doing is checking if player dot owned tools find first child, or if not, player dot owned tools find first child tool name, and not or and player dot player not players player dot current tool is not equal, or dot value is not equal to the tool name, then return, or actually in here we're gonna add a comment which will be saying player does not, or the player does not own the tool. Now we're gonna have an else if not, or player dot owned tools find first child tool name, and player dot current tool is not equal, or dot value is not equal to tool name, then player owns the the player owns the tool but does not have it equipped. Now we're gonna have another else if. So else if the player owns the tool, the own tools find first child tool name, and he does have it equipped, and player dot current tool dot value is equal to tool name, then in that case we'll just do nothing. So player has the player has the tool equipped. Now we are done with this. So what I'm going to do, if it's his first time purchasing the tool, we're gonna check if player dot leader stats. So if to number player dot leader stats square brackets and tool dot currency dot value. I think we have a currency, or maybe it's in a module. I'm not really sure. No, it's not in the module. So add a string value inside of the tool of each tool and rename it to currency. So what currency does it take to purchase? So I'm going to have it as coins, because I think we have it set as coins. Yes, we do. Dot currency dot value is greater or equal than the tool then to number, tool dot price dot value. I think it's a string value. Yes. Then else return player cannot afford the tool, or let's return not enough coins. Else in here we're gonna return purchased, and what we're gonna be doing is creating a string value. So local new tool or tool val is equal to instance.new, and we're gonna create a string value and tool val dot name is equal to tool name, and tool val dot parent is equal to player dot owned tools. And after doing that, we will say player dot current tool dot value is equal to tool name. Now I'm sorry if I do a lot of typos. It's because of my spacebar that gets stuck each time, and it's very, very annoying. Now what I'm going to do is create a clone of the tool. So local new tool is equal to tool, clone, and new tool dot parent is equal to player dot backpack. Now before we set its new parent to the player's backpack, we'll have to clear to remove every single equipped tool inside of his backpack. So for I, v in pairs, player dot backpack get children do if the is a tool, then v destroy. Now you have to make sure that this is before we parent the new tool to the player's backpack, and after doing that we'll subtract some money from the player's coins value. So player dot leader stats square brackets tool dot currency dot value, and we don't need the to number here. It's we only need the to number for comparing two string values, and what I'm going to do is set its value minus equal tool dot price dot value. Very simple. Now after doing this, what I'm going to do is copy this part right here from the player.current tool.value is equal to tool name to this. And what I'm going to do is in here, paste that in and do the same thing in here. Yes. Okay, so that should be it. Now what I'm going to do is remote dot by tool dot on server invoke is equal to function is equal to and by tool. Now I have to get rid of this thing, and I think it's remote controller dot by tool, not by tool. So remote controller dot by tool. And that should be it. Now I'm going to play the game and see if that works. And if it does, That's good. If it doesn't, we're gonna troubleshoot it. Now we do have a problem here, which is this. So we'll have to find a way to fix this. So I think I'm going to send the tool for is equal to function. Just do this function, and we're gonna get the player and the tool name and your remote controller dot by tool and player comma tool name. Now if you play the game, that should work, and indeed it does. Now I'm going to open up the first test, and I'm going to drag this annoying output right here, and I'm going to clear it and make this a bit bigger, and I'm going to select my tool and try to buy it. Now the price is 5, so I should have 35 coins left when I buy it. 3, 2, 1. Right now I have this sword, and if I buy this, it should hopefully give me sword 2, and yes, it did. So that works perfectly. But what does not work is the fact that it still says buy. And we're going to be fixing that by going to the main client script and check if result is equal to a empty string then. And go back here. And what I forgot to do is return some stuff here. So in here, add a return. By the way, I'm in the second if statement. So return equipped, and just do the same thing here. Return equipped, and if result is equal to equipped, then by dot text is equal to, and we're gonna set it to equipped. Now if result else if result is equal to bought, I think that's what we're returning here. Purchased, not bought. So purchased, then same thing. Else if result is equal to error, or that's it. And go back here, and instead of returning this, just return error. And return the same thing here whenever we have an error. So error, and we'll just send error, and by dot text is equal to, and buy. Now we have to do another thing here, which is whenever we press a template, we have to do something. So whenever we press the template, we're gonna check if player, just copy this really, just go here, copy this, the first if statement, paste it here, and instead of this, we're gonna just change this to item name, and change this to, do we have a variable for the player? No, it says plr, so change this to player plr, and change this to item.name too, and change this to plr. Now plr without a capital P. Now I'm going to copy this and add an else if, paste that, else if, and else if the player does own the tool, and that's not set to that, and do the same thing again. Just copy this, paste it here, and add the then. And what I'm going to do now is else if plr, change this to an equal sign too. What I'm going to do is change the by text to by, and in here I'm going to do by dot text is equal to I think it will be equipped, and do the same thing here. Now if you play the game, everything should be working just fine, hopefully. So we're gonna try to buy this again, and as you can see, nothing happened, which is bad. And that is a pretty big problem. So I'm thinking it's because of... Okay, so there is a little problem here. Change this to equipped. Equipped. Go back here. Equipped. Equipped. Oh, what am I doing? Just remove this. If result is equal to equipped, then the text will be equipped. If it's not, then it won't be equal to equipped. Now, we do have to recheck this code. And that will hopefully work. Or maybe I'm thinking it's because we used that weird function there, which I should probably not use. Okay, so I'm going to print the result. And I'm pretty sure that will fix it, because I'm almost 100% sure that it won't print any results. Yes, it returned nil, which is understandable. Because if you go to our remote controller, just copy everything inside of it. Copy everything inside of this function, this particular function. Control X to cut. And paste it here. And just get rid of this. Now if you play the game, that should hopefully fix it. So I'm going to go to the shop, buy it, and it's returned equipped. Great, and it says equipped, and we have the sword actually equipped. Now I'm going to try with multiple swords by just adding another sword to this, and it will be named sword 3. And the handle color will be blue. And the same image really. And I'm going to try to play the game again. And I forgot to rename it to sword 3. Or maybe I did. Now I'm going to play the game again. Go to test. Nothing works. Very bad. I think it's because of the order that I did not change. So I'm going to change the order to 2 and go back to the main client, and I want to recheck this again. So do we have any check for the order? Okay, that did not work. Okay, now it did work. So I'm going to buy this one, and as you can see, it gave me sword 2, and if I buy the other one, it will give me sword 3. Now, I will, however, try to fix them. Oh, that's a bit of a problem. That's very simple to fix. All we have to do is to check if it's already equipped. Actually, when we do this, we want to do something else. So if the player owns the tool and has it equipped, then we're going to say equipped. Else, we're going to say equip. Now, that should be it. So let's buy this first. It says equipped. Have sword 2. And let's buy the other one, sword 3. And it says equipped this time. And by the way, it said buy, not equip. And we have sword 2, which is blue. And we can go ahead and equip. And now it says equip, yes. Equip the other sword. Now we do have a little bug though. I'm thinking if I keep the sword equipped and equip the other sword, weird bugs will happen. And that is very bad. And we don't want that to happen, so I am just going to fix this bug in the next episode. So if this helped, please leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and that's basically it. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!